Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's Andrade and Irwin back at it again. And ladies and gentlemen, the NBA has officially dropped the official Christmas Day schedule of 2021, and we got Hawks and Knicks, Celtics and Bucks, Warriors and Suns, Nets and Lakers, and Mavs and Jazz, meaning LeBron, KD, Steph, and most notably missing from this graphic, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
How the fuck do you not have the Finals MVP in your
For real,
fucking cover,
reigning
man?
defending champion. Come on, man. Come on. Arguably the most popular NBA player on the planet right now.
The disrespect, man. You put KD's snake ass there, and you don't put Giannis there?
Yeah, and another disrespectful take real quick. Nikola Jokic is not on this list either, and the Nuggets, first time since 2008 where the reigning regular season MVP is not on Christmas Day schedule. Maybe we'll get more into that later. Yeah. But come on, NBA. Come on, NBA.
I feel you, but let's start with let's start with the good thing.
Good news. We're gonna start with the good news first. The highlights that we expect out of all these matchups and the ones that stand out to us most. And then we'll get into the bad news, aka the critiques that we have for certain matchups that could have been improved.
I'm gonna be grateful to the fact that, you know, with all this shit that's going on with the pandemic, especially with Delta, it seems like we're gonna have a full onslaught of NBA Christmas basketball. That's true. I don't know about you, but especially as an adult, it definitely hits different. On Christmas Day, the things that come to mind to me is some leftover food after Noche Buena, which is fire as fuck.
That's true.
Presents, which, hey man, those underwear, those socks, man, they come clutch, you know, for Christmas.
They do come clutch.
They do, older, man. You're like, yo, you're running low on that, and I'm like, shit, okay. And then it's NBA Christmas.
No, for real. For me, I think of Christmas, NBA basketball is one of the first things that pops in my head now. It's tradition. I can't wait. When I got kids, that's something I'm going to bring up to my family, put on with the kids around. When family's over and shit for Christmas, like, turn the TV on. Everybody knows. Of course, but that's also why it's one of the most hyped up schedules, because everyone's tuned in, whether they like basketball or not, whether they watch basketball or not.
No matter.
The basketball fan in that household is going to likely ask, hey, can we turn on the game? Can we put it on? At least in the background, if you're not going to watch it fully.
Of course,
and
man.
Everybody in the room is just going to be aware of it.
No matter what you believe in, man. Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, you know, whatever the fuck you religious belief in, NBA is going to be on. But let's get to it, man.
All right, let's start off with the highlights.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones that we do like.
For me, my favorite matchup that I damn, what is wrong with me today? Yeah, for real, forward to the most is Nets and Lakers, and I think I speak for the both of us NBA fans as a whole. Whether casual, serious.
Anybody with a fucking pulse or common sense, which is not so common anymore, is gonna go with Nets Lakers. Obviously,
bro, that's insane. Kyrie, Harden.
That's an all-star game. Shit,
KD, LeBron, AD, Russell Westbrook, and then you got that's 6 big ass stars, superstars, minus maybe AD. I don't know. In one game, and then you got Westbrook versus. Actually, just tune into this clip on why I spoke about why the Nets and Lakers would be the biggest finals matchup that we deserve as NBA fans.
Yeah.
That I'll put up all the points, but also maybe that's why they're here too, because not only because it's it'll be the most hyped up match. They knew what they were doing, but also say we don't get the finals matchup, at least we got them for Christmas Day.
That's the marquee matchup. We got 2 big markets. We got Brooklyn in New York.
Yeah, Brooklyn versus LA, man. That shit's for
Los Angeles Lakers. Majority of bandwagon casual fans are what? Lakers fans.
Yeah, and you got LeBron versus KD, which is arguably the top 1 versus top 2 basketball player on the planet.
Yep.
Westbrook versus KD, that old teammate rivalry.
Yep.
And then, bro, there's just Harden versus Westbrook. There's another there's just too much to talk about.
For real.
And then we got, start off with the one that I know which one's your other favorite matchup.
My other favorite one is, believe it or not, and this might catch you a surprise, but Hawks versus Knicks. You got Ice Cold Trae, arguably the greatest. Ice Cold Trae, arguably one of the biggest NBA villains right now, especially if you ask.
He's a fun villain, though.
Yeah,
he's a fun. Unlike Hedo's LeBron, which everyone hated.
Yeah.
To an extent, for the right reasons. Trae just has fun with it, man.
You got some good ingredients going on, and you got Ice Trae, good team. They made a surprise run to the Eastern Conference Finals. being even better than last year. They got John Collins coming back. You got
They kept him too long
You
term.
got DeAndre Hunter coming back as well for the Hawks. He was a really good player. He was injured in the playoffs. And you got the Knicks. The Knicks.
The most valuable franchise in NBA.
Despite me, I still hold the same reservation. They're a dumpster fire of a franchise under the great leadership of James Dolan, their fucking owner. But it's about time. They're relevant. The NBA is in a much better place.
Yes.
When the Knicks are good. And they got better. They got Kemba Walker coming back home. Hopefully he's healthy. Derrick Rose. They added Evan Fournier. Another year of R.J. Barrett. Another year of Coach Tibbs.
And you're gonna have Randall with a chip on his shoulder, trying to see if he can make up for that sorry ass performance in the playoff matchup between them.
I feel you, man, and show on national TV why right now he's the king of New York.
That's true.
Feel you.
That's true. But that it goes to show how quick things can change in the NBA. Because just a year ago, and anytime probably in the past 10 years, you get a Hawks-Knicks Christmas Day matchup, it would have been like, okay.
Man, what the fuck are you smoking?
But in 1 year, in literally one playoff match, you just got this Trey versus New York in MSG hypeness that just all happened within one playoff series, and it's beautiful, and I can't wait. This is one of the best starts to Christmas Day for the NBA that I've seen in a while. I'm actually hyped to watch a 12 p.m. game. There's not a lot of time. Usually they'll start off with like a slow game or like just a team that they're trying to put in because it's a whole day event. But this one is, bro, it doesn't get better than this.
It's the perfect kitchen sink /
it actually falls off a little after this one.
Yeah, it does, man. But we'll get to that later on. The other one that I guess we both fuck with is the Golden State Warriors and the Suns.
Yes, you got the reigning finals appearance team, the Suns, versus one of the most surprising for most people, Warriors team after last year's run, who got a chip on the shoulder because they fucked up in the playoff tournament. But Steph is back hot. Hopefully, Klay is back, and then you get Klay, Draymond, and Steph, the Dynasty's trio, back at it again with ever evolving and improving Warrior squad. Hopefully Wiseman has instead of a sophomore slump, a sophomore evolution.
I fuck with that. Hopefully Wiggins keeps on getting better.
Wiggins keeps on showing up.
The two rookies that they drafted,
I don't know if we'll get a lot of them in Christmas Day.
Komija and the other guy they drafted, I forgot his name. But
and who knows what other moves they might do before Christmas Day. But this is going to be insane. And don't forget, guys, Steph had arguably the most popular or one of the most popular ankle breaks in NBA history when he fucking shook CP3 when CP3 was on the Clippers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Bro, it's when he was like doing all this crazy shit close to the basket, and then I think he did one where he did a mid-range, but then he also did one where he like finessed everybody and then ended it with CP3, and then he shot that top of the key 3 that just even Kerr was like, what the fuck? And I was like at the peak hype of Curry mania.
That's just.
And now they're back, and fucking Suns are back they've closed CP3. They're gonna have a chip on the shoulder for losing that finals after an 0-2 lead, or actually being. I said that wrong, but y'all know what I mean.
I think they're gonna recruit that girl, for Christmas Eve, to help them out.
And Booker's gonna be back. Like I'm sure he's gonna have, and also Ayton. So this is gonna be insane. Like for me, that was a smart pick. It's not because to me it's a smart pick by the NBA and Adam Silver and everybody who decided this, because when you think about it, it is a phenomenal matchup. Not just great, it's a phenomenal matchup, but it's not one that's so obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So that's why I thought it was a great pick. Yeah. But I think we have now finished talking about the positive. So time to jump into critiques because.
So now we talk to the good. Let's get to the bad, and then obviously the ugly.
Let's start with the Celtics versus Bucks.
No, actually, before we get to the Celtics and the Bucks, I want to touch up on this because we touched up in the beginning of the video. NBA. What the fuck, man? MVP. International MVP. First big man to be MVP since Shaq.
2000 in 20 plus years.
Look, I would understand if Joker was like the MVP for like the Sacramento Kings or something like that.
But this is the Nuggets.
The Nuggets are a good
one
squad.
Of the favorites to win the title across the league, not just in their conference.
They're a contender, especially with Jamal Murray coming back. Hopefully from injury. You have another year of Michael Porter Jr.
By favorites, I mean like one of the top contenders. Come on, man. They're up there.
And you leave them out? Man, the fuck, man. Disrespect, man.
Yes.
But anyway.
The Nuggets is there, and it's common sense. Like being a regular season MVP, comes with like, okay, you led your teams to win, you led them to the playoffs, you led them up in the top rankings and seedings. So the Nuggets are, and it's not just in this 1 year. The past 2 to 3 years, they've been hella relevant. They've been one of the top marquee teams. How the fuck are they not on the schedule? How are they not? And then they would have been perfect versus the Jazz, who the Jazz after last year became one of the favorites in the West.
Yeah.
So now you get top 2 West teams to face each other on Christmas Day. First of all, that. And then second of all, you get the reigning MVP there, which, like I said earlier, not since 2008 is the reigning MVP not in the fucking Christmas Day schedule.
Maybe not versus the Jazz. I probably would have put Mavs versus Nuggets.
No,
Man,
no,
that
versus
Balkan-
the Jazz, man.
The Balkan duel?
Nah, fuck that. That's cool. But nah, versus the Jazz. You got Murray versus Donovan.
Yeah.
You got Jokic versus Gobert. And MPJ versus who do we throw in there?
Mike Conley.
Conley? Yeah.
Okay.
But like that's a legitimate team.
Bogdanovich, you know.
And to me, like, I'm not usually, whether you want to call it conspiracy theory or not, and I'm usually for business moves because I get it. In the end, this is all a business.
Ratings.
And ratings are a thing. They got to do what they got to do. And it usually follows up with hype, so I'm all for it. But this really feels like a big push for Luka. And I'm a big, if you guys been following the channel for a while, I love Luka. But,
I love
bro,
Joker.
this feels like they're shoving the Mavs down our throat and Luka down our throat with this Mavs like what connection do they have? Mavs versus Jazz, they have no connection. Mavs have lost in the first round for the past 2 years now, right? And it's
The
like,
Clippers.
bro, I would have loved to see Luka on the schedule. Cool, put Luka in a different style with like a different team. I don't know, maybe Mavs versus Suns if it wasn't versus Warriors. But it could have been. I think Nuggets versus Jazz are easily, I think 90% of y'all would agree that's a better matchup. And if not Nuggets versus Jazz, who was the hype playoff series that we just, arguably one of the better playoff series in the entire postseason
Jazz
last
versus
season?
Clippers.
Yes. And
Yeah,
like we just said, Hawks versus Knicks. That left an impression on people and fans in general.
But here's the thing.
That's Clippers versus Jazz left that as a whole for everybody else too.
No Kawhi, no Christmas games.
Okay,
It's
but
simple
that
as
doesn't matter. That playoff series was carried by the Clippers by PG.
Yeah.
And that hype was based off PG doing what he was doing, playing as playoff P versus the Jazz. And come on, man.
Okay.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, the fact that there were 2 other arguably better options versus for the Jazz instead of the Mavs, I don't know, man. This one left a little bitter taste in my mouth. And this is coming from someone, and actually both of us really like Luka.
Yeah,
and we
of
like
course.
the team that the Mavs have right now.
Well,
but
get rid of Kristaps Porzingis.
2 easily better
new
options.
pandemic
At the
peak.
very least, Nuggets versus Jazz. Especially with, come on, put some respect on Joker's name.
Well, good. But not only did we talk about Joker, but we indirectly spoke about Mavs versus Jazz. Talk about a win-win over here.
That's true.
Actually, but the one I actually wanted to bring up before Mavs with Jazz, but shit, this actually works out better for our favor is, okay, look, respect, Giannis, Finals MVP. The Bucks are the returning NBA champions.
Yes.
But what the fuck, NBA? The Celtics?
What have the Celtics done in the past 2 to 3 years?
What have they done since
besides disappoint
Besides
expectations?
2008, that you guys are still, like, you know,
Alright, chill,
holding
you
up to
hating
that
too much. You
shit,
hating
man.
too
I'm
much.
like, yeah, okay.
Look, Celtics have been one of the favorites, one of the contenders in the East. We get that. But, like we mentioned with the Hawks and Knicks, like we mentioned with the Clippers versus Jazz, or the Nuggets versus
How
Jazz.
did they do last year?
No, it's not even just how they did last year. The marquee matchup that has become a rivalry in the past 2 years, a known rivalry, is the Heat versus Bucks.
Yes.
And how do you not put the Heat versus Bucks in this 2:30 p.m. slot? That shit makes no fucking sense
For
to me.
real.
To pick the Celtics over the Heat, I want someone in the comments. I want anyone. I want Adam
Unbiased.
Silver to address it. Or someone from NBA Communications. Anyone. Give me logical reasoning on why the Celtics were picked over the Heat.
And don't give me this bullshit, Jason Tatum. Here's why. The Celtics, unlike the Heat, they did worse than the Heat last year. They got weaker as a team. They lost Evan Fournier. They lost Kemba Walker, even though Celtics fans will tell me addition from subtraction or subtraction
I
by
get what you
addition.
mean. Yeah.
When it comes to that, while the Heat, similar to what the Bucks did last year, they got stronger. They got Kyle Lowry, the best Toronto Raptors player.
Yeah.
They signed Duncan Robinson back. They got some dogs to
And
help
they
on the.
took PJ Tucker from the Bucks. So that, on top of that, is another layer of story and narrative to add tension and hype behind this matchup.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the Bucks wanted to sign PJ. Talks just fell through.
Yeah.
So what? And
Yeah.
then, but he whooped their ass in 2 years ago.
We whooped their ass
Made
in the
it
bubble.
to the final. So that's like, okay, that's the previous final team appearance 2 years ago. Why wouldn't you include? They're still relevant. And then the Bucks came back with a vengeance and kicked the Heat's ass. So now you got 1-1. So this would have been that trio, that three-peat. And you don't know if they meet up in the playoffs. There's a good chance they might meet up in the playoffs.
Probably
this
round
year.
2.
So like, even then, it would have been a nice matchup to like hype people up for the playoffs. And even if they don't meet in the playoffs, just like the Nets and Lakers, if they don't meet in the finals, it at least kind of satisfies some of the appetite that people would have had, like seeing a Heat Bucks matchup. That shit makes no sense.
No, it doesn't, man. In the Miami Heat, like ever since they existed, like ever since like the 2000s, they've been on a consistent basis one of the best NBA franchises.
Yes, and not
like,
just that,
and
one of
they
the
keep-
most relevant. Like,
Yeah, and they keep getting disrespected.
I don't know if they keep getting disrespected, but like right now, yes, I would say this is disrespectful because honestly it makes no logical sense, and this is objective. Like,
And compared to the Celtics, you have more stars. You got Jimmy Butler, Bam, Kyle
and
Lowry.
people would have been excited to see
Yes,
Lowry.
compared to
Lowry
just,
versus Middleton.
compared to just Jason Tatum, and you're not even gonna know if you're gonna have Jaylen Brown back because of that injury as well. Come on, man.
Good point.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. This is there's just too many, and even Mike Budenholzer versus Eric Spoelstra. Like there's just so many good things between the Heat and it's a hyped up rivalry matchup. Like that's my most important thing. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm a Heat fan. It legit has nothing to do with that. It's like, guys, the
Somewhat
reason
for
they
me,
do
yeah.
these matchups, Irvin's being a little more biased, and I get that. But like, if it was other team that was in the Heat's position, I would have been like, why is that team not there? It's like how I said about the Nuggets, how I said about even the Clippers. I really want to know why it's the Celtics. And the Celtics are relevant, but I still don't get it. Maybe my only other thing of maybe why is because you got, like Erwin said earlier about the Knicks. Knicks, Lakers, and Celtics are arguably the top 3 most popular or relevant most popular franchises in NBA history.
Yeah, Celtics, yeah.
Most valuable. Okay, now the NBA was able to put their top 3 in the Christmas Day schedule. Cool. What are you kidding me?
Hey, but look,
Like-
if there's any positive, man, about this is the Miami
Oh.
Heat. Miami Heat have been a team that whenever people are sleeping on them, they perform the best.
That's
when it comes
true.
to that.
Okay,
and-
actually, good point. That's
Yeah.
more of a Heat fan point, but that is true.
Yeah,
But one thing I do want to go on a side note tangent, I won't make this long, is can we please NBA Nike
Adidas.
bring back? Is it focused? There you go. Bring back the dope Christmas apparel design
I like
for
that hat.
Christmas Day schedule. Yes, like this.
Fuck with that
For
hat.
me, Adidas didn't have too many highlight moments when it came to designing the jerseys for the NBA. But this to me was my favorite and probably biggest highlight when they went with the old school cursive font for Christmas Day. There's a lot of traditional stuff. You guys can look that up online. Maybe I'll put a image of it. But Nike, bring back, please. And I even saw some tweets about it. Christmas design focused stuff, just apparel back in the NBA for Christmas Day. It's just dope, and it hypes me up. And it honestly, in the past few years, almost always I'll wear this during Christmas Day or at least December, Christmas season, winter season, like because it just reminds me of the Christmas vibe. And I also really like the design. So
Yeah, I do
come on, Adidas pulled it off really well. Come on. Y'all can do it. If the Three Stripes can do it, y'all can do it. And fuck it, you guys should take that as motivation to even do it better. Figure something out. Y'all been killing it with the City Edition jerseys.
Oh, hell yeah.
And hey, y'all, especially returning viewers, y'all fuck with our City Edition jersey series every time they drop it.
Man, garbage job.
Do it for Christmas Day. Y'all would make more money, and y'all would get more hype, and the fans would appreciate it more. And when the fans appreciate it more, guess what? We appreciate the brand more. It's
Yep.
just common sense.
Common sense. Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys agree with the points that we did? Is there anything you guys want to add? Are you guys satisfied with what the NBA did for Christmas? Is there things that you don't like? What do you like? What do you love? What do you hate? What doesn't fucking make sense? Let us know in the comments, man. We would love to hear it. Either way, appreciate all the love and the hate. You guys already know. Catch us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all podcast streaming platforms. And before we end this, I was going to say 90%, but it's getting better. Jordan was telling me.
Bit, yeah.
Now it's 85% of y'all are not subscribed to the channel. Do something
bringing it
about
down.
it.
Keep bringing it
Let's
down.
get that down.
Join the BTD community.
Yeah, man.
guys.
That's all I want for Christmas. I want that number to
Yo,
keep going
please.
down. All right.
We can get to like at least 1,000 by Christmas. Hopefully more. Like 5,000 by Christmas, guys. I'll streak like, on Christmas Day.
Who knows?
I don't know.
We might do a giveaway. Andrade might streak. I might streak. We might both streak. I don't know. You can let us know in the comments what you guys want. But we'll catch you guys soon. For now,
Take
later.
care.